Yes, guys, yes, people. Welcome back to another episode. Welcome back to another live stream. Big up everybody that's locked in. Smash the like and subscribe button while you guys get into the stream. Big up everyone as per usual. Guys, what an amazing day. The sun is shining, the birds are glistening, and we're about to drop a third bid for big Romelu Lukaku. What's everyone telling me? Smash the like and subscribe button. We're going to delve into all of the news in just a space of a few minutes. Lots of smiles in here today. What an amazing day it is. Wayne, first off, I see you're enjoying the sun. How's your day been, bro?
Yeah, busy. Got my niece and nephew will say hello both to all you lot. I'm looking after them at the moment. So yeah, it's been hectic.
So we're supposed to keep it PG today? We have to keep it PG today?
Yeah, PG top on everything. I'm going to say my oven broke, completely gone. So I've had someone come over to fix it. But yeah, it's been eventful so far today. But yeah, it's all good. All good.
Big up Kevin Fraser as well, the same old donation. Champions!
We know what we are.
Come on, G. Wait, Winter Surfer, what are you telling me, my G? You good?
Yeah, I'm just loving. This fan base is crazy. Depending on what player you want, the other side's a liar. The other reports are liars. It's just fun watching it, man. I'm just at a point where I think Josh might be the same. So in a message, it's like I don't care. For me, my preference is Haaland, but I'm not turning my nose up at the Lukaku.
You see, this is the thing. Everyone spent the whole summer going, I want one of Lukaku, Haaland, Kane, or nobody. Yeah. Now it's Romelu Lukaku. Suddenly everyone's got their fucking knickers in a twist.
Yeah, like it's Danny Ings or something. Like it's Danny
This is why you don't invest too much into one transfer.
Yeah.
Like, I've said from the start, I'm happy with Lukaku, I'm happy with Haaland, I'm happy with Kane. I just want one of the three. I'm happy with either. But here we go. People are still going to complain. It is what it is. Scott, what are you telling me, bro?
Bro, I can't lie. I'm going through Twitter and just looking at like different reports and shit in this transfer, and they're starting to do my nothing. Like, I just want a proper signing as well, not a third choice keeper. I just want a signing, like, please.
For me, I always said the signing would be coming if as long as we looked into contingency plans, as long as we didn't put our eggs into one basket. At least to the news that's been coming out in the last 48 hours, I can relax to the fact that my club is actually got some plan Bs in store. Romelu Lukaku is the perfect contingency plan if Erling Haaland didn't go through, and here we are at the very least. Big up Chris with a donation saying, I really hope Johnny is right about the smokescreen for Haaland and we don't get Lukaku. Really don't want us to pay that amount for him. Josh we're gonna speak about this later as well, because I know you wanted to talk about the negatives in terms of the financial side of this Lukaku deal, but we'll discuss it anyway, because from my perspective, I don't really care about resale value, because Romelu Lukaku is going to be a long-term option for us. He's going to be at the club for at least the next 4 to 5 years. I really wouldn't be worried about Lukaku moving on from Chelsea. And with that in mind, we should be winning trophies. We should be getting revenue. We should still be selling loan players. We should still be getting loan fees off players as well. We have money anyway to go and look for the next striker after Romelu Lukaku ends up leaving. I'm not too worried about reselling him. Like, my aim is that we keep a striker for the long term. If we had Erling Haaland, it's very likely within 3 or 4 years when you're going into the next contract negotiations, you're going to have to deal with Raiola being a little dickhead, and then he might end up leaving anyway. Yes, you'll get resale value off that. Like, no one's disputing that. But I want a striker for the long term. I don't want a striker for 2 or 3 seasons. I feel like you're more likely to see Lukaku stay for a longer period of time than Erling Haaland would. Roland also saying, Lukaku in, let's not talk about resale value. I think he meant to say, come on, you Blues. Damn fucking right. Josh, what are you telling me, bro? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good, but I'm also I'm a little baffled, a little disappointed, to say the least. And here's my thing. I like Romelu Lukaku. I want to start off by saying that. I think he's a good player. My issue is, and you touched on it a little bit, for the money they're asking for a 28-year-old striker who, let's say, has a little bit of a mixed
mix?
I don't know. It doesn't make a little, yeah. Because I mean, I think at Everton he was good. United, not so much.
I'll tell you, he outscored every Chelsea player for every season except 2.
I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing he's not a good player because I do rate him as a player. I just think if you spend that money on Romelu Lukaku, I don't think the long-term outcome is going to be what we're expecting. And I say that also because if you sign Romelu Lukaku, Erling Haaland is done, and it's done and it also opens up the possibility that City say, okay, well, Chelsea aren't signing him. Let's hold off and we'll get this man in here the door for 70 million next season. And if City get Erling Haaland, it's a long, long, long time before I think we see the Premier League title.
Haaland. They could have already been involved, right?
If Haaland doesn't come to us, he's going to Madrid.
Well, again,
and Bayern.
And if he goes to Madrid, then you're looking at they could easily get Mbappe on a free and sign Haaland. And if that happens, there's a that's a big problem for us as well as far as European football goes.
No, I ain't worried about that. We're not worried about Madrid.
Nah, I can't lie. Haaland and Mbappe both are getting inducted. On them. I'm here for this still.
No, the team you have to worry about is United.
He won't go United.
But
okay.
They've had talks with him already.
Considering Raiola hates United, he's gonna milk them for everything they're worth if he goes to United. So they're gonna be broke. He's a Leeds supporter, so going to United's basically just unheard of, apart from like Cantona and Ferdinand. So there's no way United.
Earlier, he was close to United this past summer. They just didn't want. They didn't want to have the buyback or a transfer fee in the contract for him. They were sort of against that idea of having I can't even think of the word right now off the top of my head. A buyout clause in his contract. I think that's probably the only thing that kept him from going there, to be honest with you. I don't know. Is it good for next year? Maybe the season after, if we have Lukaku, I think it helps us. It's a large sum of money, and again, Inter, he's got to want the move first and foremost. And if we're doing this thing where we're trying to play both of these guys in the public, you're playing with fire that you end up with neither one of them. And in my opinion, I don't think that's smart to be doing. I don't know. It's very frustrating. I think if you're willing to spend 130 plus Alonso or whoever on Lukaku, why just spend the extra 40 and get your target? I don't get it.
I think maybe just Dortmund don't want to sell.
Well, I think they would be dumb to not want to sell. I think it would be terrible business for them not to want to sell, to take less than half next season and piss the player off. Because if the player wants to move, and all reports seem to say that he would be very, very open and intrigued with the move, and you don't sell him, I don't think it's good business for their club or for their team next year to keep him there. I don't know. Yes.
Just to give you like a different perspective, don't you think that the way Haaland's played and the way his agent are playing it, they're open to the move, but they're not necessarily pushing anything. So regardless of what happens, they're sitting pretty because they've got offers coming in left, right, center. And at the end of the day, the club that is going to be paying a large sum here is Chelsea. And Chelsea, in a way, as much as we want the player, we have to be smart here. We can't be taken for dicks because at the end of the day, whatever happens here, it will precede us in terms of how we go about our business in the future, because clubs will then look at it and think, okay, this is how you play ball with Chelsea. So just considering those factors alone, I think it's nice to see that at least that we've made a stance on where we see with things going. But then at the same time, what we said is, look, it's not like we ain't got another option. So we've gone after another option that we have. And it's not a downgrade. So the meltdown that people are having, as much as I understand, the biggest factor that I'm seeing that is a common thing that people are saying is resale. But the fact of the matter is, does Chelsea have to become a selling club like this? We don't want to be a selling club, ideally. What we want to do is win shit, What we want to do is actually raise the stature of the club. And at the end of the day, what we need right now, a problem that has been an ongoing issue for us for the longest time, is we haven't got a consistent goal scorer. So why are we just kind of going to this point where we're just saying resell, when the reality of it is that the benefit is right now we are getting a striker who's going to be scoring goals, which is the biggest problem we are facing in our current time.
Also, do you know what I find mad before you read that super chat? We've looked through, if you go back to past seasons, like you go back to when we signed Kepa or Morata or whoever, what was the biggest problem with those signings? They were panic signings because our first choice target went elsewhere or our goalkeeper left. This is the first time I can remember us actually having multiple targets that are all good options that we're looking at, and people seem to have lost their minds over that. Like, what do you want? Do you want us to just go for one player, and if that doesn't work out, we panic buy and buy a fucking Danny Ings or something? Or do you want us to go and look at about 3 or 4 players that all are good, but it means we might not get our first choice, but the second option is still amazing? Because, by the way, look at his numbers just on the face of it. Bar United, he's got at least a goal every other game for the teams he's played for.
So, Scott, the answer is yes. People would rather us, some Chelsea fans would rather us do a panic buy for like a Danny Ings because they like to be unhappy. Some people just like to be unhappy. They have to have something to bitch about.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. Some people are always going to complain, even though I'll go ahead and read this chat and then I'll start.
Kevin Fraser is saying, why do we care about how much money we spend like it's our money? Chelsea is filthy, stinking rich. We have the money, spend it, get a number 9 in the club. I understand that, and that's the exact same thing everyone was saying with the Erling Haaland deal. So all I'm saying is let's just keep the same energy with it. Galactus Pro is also saying Lewis buying Lukaku is the bad idea. We basically aid Man United with money. Don't they owe Manchester United that money anyway? So they're going to receive that money.
They're going to receive that money whether he goes or not.
Difference.
Yeah, if they sell Barella or something, they'll still owe United money.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's
they could sell Martinez.
It doesn't mean anything.
They could sell anyone. Yeah.
So I'm going to give you the conclusion, and then we'll walk through the process. The conclusion is one of Haaland or Lukaku will play for Chelsea this year. One of the two will be a Chelsea player this year. And the reason you know that is they're doing the deals consecutively. They're not working on one deal at a time. They're working on multiple deals. And they're working on Lukaku and Haaland. So they've run into a roadblock with Haaland. I don't know what the bid was it was put in. I'm guessing around 130 million pound. Okay? They didn't get the answer they wanted. All right, we'll go look at Lukaku. Start ramping up Lukaku in the news. And Inter know we put in 130 million, or it was talked about that we put 130 million in on Haaland. Yeah. So both boards are going, okay, do we want to make this money this summer? Do we want to make over 100 Ps? Do we want to make up in Dortmund's case up to 150 Ps? Do Inter want to cut out some of that debt they've been known for 120 million euro? So they're playing by doing both deals or keeping both stove burners on. Let's just say that 2 hot burners. You're able to use each deal or the negotiations for each player against the other club. So what they're trying to do is come up with the best possible price for each player. Okay? So Lukaku was in training today with Inter. We know that because the pictures came out. Of course, that was done by Inter to make sure that, hey, he's happy here. I can't find any images of Haaland in training today.
Yeah.
No, he's still in Norway. He's still in Norway.
So they got a game on the 7th. This is the 3rd. And the man's in Norway.
That's why I think he could be quietly trying to push for this. I mean, not as publicly as Kane, where it's like, I'm not showing up because I want out, but it could be a small stance. And I agree with you, Jester. I think that's what they are doing, but I also think you're playing with fire a little bit by doing that, because if Lukaku says, listen, I'm not anybody's second choice, okay? So you can come up with a deal, but I'm not going because I don't like the way you guys are handling this. Then
he could get hit by a bus tomorrow too, and then the deal's off. You can't play ifs and buts when you're playing high stakes in business. It's a high stakes deal, just like you're negotiating a deal to buy a company. So you have to understand that the best way for them to do this is to say, hey, we don't have a 1 or 2. We have a 1A and a 1B. They're both our first choices. We're going to do them consecutively. So if one doesn't work out, we're damn sure going to get the other. So we don't have to go into the season without a proven goal-scoring number 9, which we do not have on the team right now. So I think that is what's going on. And I think before a 4th bid in, that was the 3rd bid for Lukaku, by the way. Not the 3rd. Not waiting on it. Not the 2nd. It was the 3rd bid for Lukaku. We talked about Lukaku in June, I believe, late June, early June. I can't remember. Went to sleep since then. And the reason they're saying it's an official bid is because there is no intermediary doing the negotiations back and forth. It's Chelsea talking to Inter. That's why they're saying it's official. Okay, still not official. The bid didn't go in. Paperwork was not submitted. But they're talking directly with the club. That's where you get. Whereas Dortmund, we're going through an intermediary to do the negotiations with Dortmund, because that's how Dortmund likes to do work. So you can see the difference between one being an official bid and one being an unofficial bid, because you're not dealing directly with the club. So that takes care of that point.
DeMar's using an intermediate.
You guys relax.
People,
you know what this is? People have had their heart set on Erling Haaland for too long. They had their heart set. They thought it was getting done. I feel like everyone's just been listening to too many sources or to too many journalists trying to act like it was already finished. And it wasn't done yet. It was nowhere near completed. It was just, we know what the price tag was. We clearly haven't gone for it. We've gone and dropped 2 bids from Lukaku in the background, even though people are saying Chelsea don't drop anything unless they know it's meant to be accepted. Like, you just have to follow the news as it comes. Don't
just want to point out.
Don't let your heart drift off and act like the deal's already been completed. Because then you're going to think any other plan B isn't going to be the answer for us.
There's so many things about this in the comments. I just want to ask, to the people in the comments that want Haaland over Lukaku, why do you want Haaland over Lukaku? Because as far as I can tell, Haaland's, bar the Champions League thing, which is a legitimate argument, Haaland's only ever scored goals in the Austrian League, and the Bundesliga. And we've already seen what happens when you sign a striker who scores loads of goals in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, big up Artem for sending me this as well. Haaland has the goals and a slightly better conversion rate, while Lukaku's made more assists and created more chances. So let's not sit here and act like that Romelu Lukaku is just an absolute bum compared to us.
Exactly.
No,
as I pointed out
again,
I'm not saying that. I'll give you my thing, Scott. But the reason I want him more is, for one, age. He's 20. 2, I think mentality-wise, he's got a better mentality than Lukaku, and I think he fits our squad, the makeup of our squad, more based off of his age, his ability, what we're looking for. I just think he's a better fit. If it's Lukaku, it's Lukaku. I'll back him. I think he's a good player. For me personally, I think he fits what we want to do better. And I still haven't heard anything from Dortmund saying there's no chance we're not signing this guy.
Josh,
it's
okay to feel like that, Josh, right?
Yeah.
But then you're not like some other people downgrading Lukaku then because your first choice is going out. That's what it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, oh crap, Lukaku's like seen as a major downgrade. Of course, my preference is Haaland as well. My preference is Haaland as well. I'm not going to go no to Lukaku because my nose is out of joint because I didn't get what I wanted. Let's be reasonable and adult and logical about this. Lukaku is a top quality striker, and if he comes, he will bang goals for us. Okay, just think of it like that.
Yeah.
Please be disappointed, of course, but just think about the whole picture as well. Do you know what I mean?
Also, just to add, Josh, out of all the things you said, there's only one thing that I can argue. It's the mentality part. Lukaku has a great mentality, man. They're just different. That's all it is. And the fact that someone can question his mentality for me would be crazy, just because I don't see that to be the case with him. What I do question, if anything, is like, how come it's taken us this long to kind of get to a point where we start to really make our minds up about how we want to go about this. So we don't know that, like Justice already said, there must have been a block in this Haaland deal. We just don't know what exactly it is.
Yeah, Mo, I don't like. I'm not saying he's mentally weak. I don't think Lukaku's mentally weak. I'm talking more about like the aggression and the fight in which Haaland plays with versus Lukaku. Lukaku's a little bit more, and maybe it's because of his age. He's been there a little bit more, I guess, but he's a little more tempered when he plays. Like there's not that sort of like fight in him, and I miss that in our strikers. Like I think Costa obviously is the last one to have that. But
Absolute Chelsea is also reporting from SempreInter.com that the lack of offers for Lautaro Martinez means that Milan could be forced to let Romelu Lukaku leave for Chelsea this summer as well.
The thing is, Josh, like, I understand what you're trying to say, but if you watch Lukaku last year and the year before at Inter, you would see exactly the things that you are maybe thinking he might not have as much. All of those things are actually prevalent in how he plays, in how he talks, in how he argues, in how he plays physically. Everything there, it's shown it time and time again. The only difference is, and I get when people are saying it, resale value from an age perspective, Haaland is a better perspective to go for. I fully understand that. There's no way I'd even argue that, because the facts are clear on those facts. But what we can argue is, at the end of the day, what Chelsea need right now is a goal scorer. What Chelsea need right now is someone that is committed. What Chelsea need right now is somebody that is proven. Right now, let's be frankly honest, Lukaku is proven, Haaland is not. And that's not to say Haaland wouldn't work. Haaland would probably work. The fact of the matter is, Haaland is not pushing this move the way we need it to be pushed, because that value is crazy. And it's not just the value of what we're giving Dortmund, it's what we're giving his agent, it's what we're giving his dad. It's when you add it all up, it's a crazy sum. And I get why people are saying it's not our money, they're like, don't be stingy or whatever. But let's be frankly honest, look at the club. The club is not trying to just pour money into the club and Roman is not trying to just pour money in all the time. Roman wants to do exactly what the club has been aiming for this whole time. Make it self-sustainable and work on that model. And he's been trying that for how long? So this is that shit.
Mo, how did Roman Abramovich become a billionaire, and how does he stay a billionaire? He cares how his money is spent.
Yeah.
Okay? He structures how his money is spent. Last 10 years, 12 years, we're trying to be self-sustaining. All this like, oh, he doesn't care, he'll spend all the money. That's not true. That is not true. Okay? He cares how this money is spent. He doesn't want to keep pumping the funds in. Or else he would have made. If he was a billionaire and he did that, we would have wrapped this deal up by now. That's not how Chelsea work. If you really understand how Chelsea work, and just take the emotion out of it because you want Haaland, or you believe in conspiracy theories that a Norwegian player is in Norway and that somehow that makes he's going to sign, like you're really surprised by that, then understand this is how Chelsea been doing for 10 to 12 years. Like this is how Roman very rarely puts any money in anymore. Do you know what I mean? He very rarely does that. Before we spent £250 million last year, were we top spenders at all in the league?
No,
we weren't, were we? We were like in the middle or something like that. It's just
I agree, Andrew. I don't think it's, and I think a resale might be a tough word, like the wrong word. I guess it would be like ability to recoup any money would be what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you're not going. It's not a matter of like a resale because somebody will buy him long down the road if we do get Lukaku, but you're not going to recoup anywhere near what you're spending on Lukaku as you would for like a Haaland.
Let me give you for that.
But I also don't want to get, just like I don't want to get bent over by Dortmund, I don't want Inter to be able to bend us over as well, which is exactly what they're going to do.
I don't think Inter bends us over as much though, because you got to take into account Inter need the money.
So in about 12 minutes, we're going to have our answer.
12 minutes? What do you mean?
Dortmund have a kind of scrimmage going on in 12 minutes.
Just want to point something out, by the way, just for the resale thing.
Dortmund have a live training session on YouTube in about 12 minutes.
Okay.
So if Haaland's not there, you'll know something.
Yeah, just want to point something out as well. So I'm looking at the resale thing. I'm looking at the prize money that each club gets for like where they finished in the league from last year. Bro, Man City got 153 million just from winning the league in prize money from the Premier League. Bro, if we win the league twice in the 4 or 5 years Lukaku's here, we make the money we would have got by selling Haaland.
Yeah,
and that's considering other competitions as well, Scotty.
Exactly. So the Champions League as well. So like all this resale value, we literally make that money back by if we win stuff.
Winning trophies.
Resale value to me is just a big excuse. Like, come on, man. What are we gonna do in 5 years? Just sit in limbo.
The weekly.
We're gonna have money for a new striker when he's done anyway. Big up Artem with the super chat saying 1 set, Wayne. Sorry. Drogba's best seasons for Chelsea came after he turned 28. I don't think Lukaku is Drogba, but who says he can't come in and have the best seasons of his career at Chelsea? Lukaku will be that bully striker. Exactly, man. I don't get this idea that as soon as he turns 30, he's going to be some washed player who can't turn, can't shoot, can't do anything, and he's just going to be over the hill. Yeah. Players last well over their 30s in this day and age, and it's only going to keep growing as such too. He knows how to play in the Premier League. He's been prolific in the Premier League, and he also feels like he has unfinished business here. Didier Drogba was balling out in the Premier League until the age of 34 years old. Who's to say Romelu Lukaku can't ball out into his 30s as well? Why do we think that he's only going to be good for 2 or 3 years? I don't understand that.
Wayne, Drogba adapted his game to his age as well. Okay,
and Romelu looks exactly like he can do that too.
Well, I wouldn't even listen. I understand what you're saying. I hate comparing players to other players. It's like, but what I'm saying is that if Lukaku, look how much Lukaku's improved in his time in Italy. Okay, not only that, he's actually focused on himself as well. Lifestyle-wise, he's changed everything like that. He's gone about trying to improve himself. Is he the best at everything? No, but what he is fundamentally good at is banging in goals, which we struggle at. Okay, we struggle at. We create highest. Not the highest, but we are up there with creating the most chances in the league. Okay, Mason Mount is up there at 7th for big chances. 7th for big chances, man. Already, yeah. Imagine he gets something like
breaking news: Haaland they turned up to training. Let's go.
Oh, I'm out, boys. You'll have a good one.
Just
take it.
I take care anyway, my guy. Big up yourself.
Yeah, I got some stuff to do.
No worries. Take care, bro.
Take care, man. Just to add to your point as well there, Andrew, I think what people forget here as well is we've got Tammy Abraham, Werner, Kai Havertz, and when you look at these players, what do they scream out to me? They scream out inexperience. And let's be frankly honest, our squad could do with experience. And right now, what we're buying is an experienced striker that has done it in both the Premier League as well as the Serie A. And he's also done it on the Champions League as well. So let's be frankly honest. We're not getting a bad player here. We're not getting a Danny Ings. We're not getting somebody that we don't know that just came out of the blue. We're getting somebody that is of a world-class level. He's a top striker, guys. So at the end of the day, as much as I understand the meltdown that some people are having or disappointment some people might be feeling, please remember Chelsea is actually signing a quality player here.
Mo, can you name me? You might be too young, so I don't know your age. But can anyone name me the last time West Brom had a goal scorer in the Premier League that scored over 20 goals?
Lukaku, bro.
No, that wasn't.
But then before Lukaku, fucking hell, that was probably.
And since
Rondon?
Since this is
Rondon never got that many. He was.
Can anyone name me? Can anyone name me? Can anyone name me another one for Everton who improved year upon year?
Oh,
with
okay.
assists as well.
I see your point. Okay,
do you know what I mean? This guy,
Tim Cahill, this
guy's done it on levels in the Premier League. He's done it on relegation, mid-table, and top 6. Right, second half of the season against United. I don't care what anyone says. Ollie didn't handle him well. He's gone to Italy, top scorer, one of the top assisters on the team. He's helped win a title for Inter Milan after 10 plus years against a dominating Juventus. Please do not downplay him because Haaland's gone. I want Haaland as well. But if Haaland's not available, this guy and Lewandowski, we're never going to pay that much for Lewandowski. I know we can say that he's like,
And also,
we're never going to pay that, and Bayern wouldn't sell him. But
No,
Lukaku is the next logical step.
Go on.
go on, mate.
That's because I've been waiting. Like,
Sorry,
obviously-
Wayne, go on, mate.
Sorry, because I've obviously been busy, but I've been listening. I spoke months ago about Lukaku, and I said Lukaku was the main target, and I was going to look in for Haaland to see if he's available. When the Haaland thing started bigging up, I said to him, look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So now it's coming out that I was not wrong at all. I was right. Haaland they looked at, can't think he can bring him over because of the size of the bill. So they're looking, going back to Lukaku and doing with Lukaku. No matter what the situation is, like you've said, we need that striker. We need him, and we're experienced. We've been proven. We've even been used to being around the Chelsea method, and he knows what the difference is. It's not like we've changed. We're still at a club with the same methods, same background. The only thing is we've got a new manager, and maybe new staff he hasn't met. But he's been in the same training ground. He knows all that. He knows all what's going on at Chelsea. It's probably the best deal we can make. And as soon as we get this deal over with Koundé, the sooner then we can be. Look, it's our transfer window. If we get another player, great. But them two, I think, will be it, and I think we'll be all right, and I think we'll do well. So it's the fan base needs to really throw a pair of balls, realise the situation, what's around them, and stop crying like they're going to mummy and saying, I want Haaland, I don't want nothing else. No, we're doing what we best for the club, for what is best at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what everyone needs. Everyone needs to get a dummy, put them back in the mouth, and realise what's going on.
You know what's kind of mad as well? Is I was having a little look. Looking at the clubs Lukaku's played for, have you seen the level of manager he's played under?
Yeah.
It's fucking awful. I couldn't be bothered to go and look at West Brom, but Everton, it was Ronald Koeman, which went really well, and Roberto Martinez.
Yeah.
At United, it was Mourinho when he was playing Brexit football, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And he's still
West Brom is
now he's gone to Inter, he's playing under a proper manager who understands how to coach him, set out a diet plan, help him improve certain things. Guess what? He improved.
It's either Di Matteo or it was Steve Pulisic.
Right. Thanks for backing my point up even more, guys. But then, if he comes to us, he'll be playing under a manager who is so. I've mentioned this so many times, but is fanatical with how he sets out training and improves players, and like with the diet plans and whatnot. So you know he's going to improve.
Yeah, so, he's improved league.
And that's what I just don't get.
Improved. Like, look at the players.
He was overweight at United, playing as a right winger, and was still scoring.
Yes.
This guy was playing as a right winger and was fat and was still scoring goals.
It's like
I think people forget also that after his Man United career, I don't know why you're not thinking that he went to Inter. If he was so bad as we're thinking because of that bad period, then why did he go to Inter and turn out to be what he is right now, guys? It's not.
He had a proper manager.
Exactly. He had someone that put him on the right sort of fitness regime. Yeah. He got himself back into shape, and he started being played to his best attributes. That's the fact of the matter. In the Premier League, sometimes what happens is players are signed by clubs, and clubs don't understand how to use them effectively. And therefore, the players look worse than they actually might be to people. And guess what? People call them a flop. People think the players are the worst thing in the world, and that's not the case. Sometimes it's as simple as the club have done him wrong. The club have not used him correctly. And
just before you hold with that, because Indiana's in the chat and he's saying it's not true. And he said Ole wanted him to stay, but Lukaku wanted to.
Yeah, that's true.
Why would he want to stay and play for Ole?
He wanted to stay, but Lukaku wanted to go. Lukaku did want to go.
That was just smart on his part.
One sec, guys. Callum Simpson is saying Haaland would be gone in 2 seasons max. Rom 4 or 5. I think Romelu would stay longer than Haaland, but we could see Haaland stay at Chelsea for longer if that was the case. Declared saying, isn't his mentality in question being overweight? No, I blame Manchester United for that.
Yeah.
He never turned overweight at Everton. It looked like it was a diet plan from Manchester. Well,
Some people in life, Joe didn't never give him a chance anyway.
I'd say some people in life, and this just isn't football, have trouble keeping like a track of their weight. I've had trouble in the past. Like I'm not exactly like overweight or anything, but I have had trouble keeping.
Lockdown's done me dirty too, man.
Yeah, people just
he's got that body type.
Yeah, and like it's the same with Luke Shaw. It was the same with R9. It was the same with Hazard. It's like certain players just aren't able to keep it in check, and that's where having the right manager and the right, like people around you and the coaching staff helps. United have never had that.
So United didn't really keep.
And Romelu has that. He has that body type that can put weight on because he's such a big guy.
Oh shit, bro! How can you say that? You're declared get in here, bro. What the hell?
Oh my goodness, man. Nah, man, but United definitely kept him on that plan because they would have stopped that immediately. Like, you don't just go from thin to massive. You can see it start to build up.
Yeah.
So Man United would have been aware of it, and they clearly didn't do anything to stop him. Maybe they wanted him to be at that shape anyway. Not sure why, but maybe they wanted him to. Again, Indiana's here. He'll tell me if I'm wrong.
But to be fair, as I said, look at Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's not exactly like the peak of physical like fitness, but he's still playing well and he's still doing what he can with what he's got.
Can someone just, if I've seen a couple of messages in the chat saying Lukaku is trash. Why is he trash?
Yeah.
Tell me why
he's not trash. He's not trash.
That's just a lazy argument to say he's trash because you don't like him. Tell me why he's trash.
He's not trash.
Have people actually seen his records this season? And he's actually more clinical. And he's actually more clinical than Haaland this season, by the way. Yeah. So if people want to know that,
as well, he's doing it in a league that is actually slower and is more compact.
Yeah.
The Italian league is slower.
So way more defensive league. The Bundesliga is so open that everyone just licks Erling Haaland's numbers. I told you he's not going to hit that immediately in the Premier League.
Bro, if anyone wants, if anyone wants the perfect comparison of this, go and look at Andre Silva, his numbers. Didn't do it at Milan. He flopped at Milan. He was shit. Now he's scoring goals for Frankfurt and has got to move to RB Leipzig. He was the second top goal scorer third. I think he was either second or third, either behind Lewandowski and Haaland, or he was ahead of Haaland last season.
Luka Jovic is a decent look as well. He went to Spain, but same idea. He was banging goals in.
Exactly. You're exactly right, Tristan. Exactly right.
Nikhil's saying, I think Chelsea might sign Haaland and Lukaku.
If we do that, our board is the greatest board in the history of ever.
It's done. The best board.
That is a madness of that one.
Man City thought, Jack Grealish and Harry Kane could do the shit, bro. Look at that, bro. That kind of business is mad.
Would Haaland and Lukaku even link up well together?
Yeah, because Lukaku's hold up play. Lukaku's hold up play is actually banging.
We would have 3 left footers as attackers. I would notice them. That can work.
Isn't he? Or is he left footed?
Yeah, Haaland's
left footed, but I think both are very strong on either foot.
Yeah.
Harris got a good right foot.
Lukaku good on his right.
I'd say semi-decent. I'm not going to say he's got like 2 right feet or anything, but he can finish with his right foot. I'm sure he can dribble with his right foot as well. Maybe not as strongly, but he can dribble at a decent length. Harrison saying mentality, finishing, positioning, and movement are 4 things I mainly want from the number 9. What are 4 main things you all want with the number 9? Well, number 1, finishing. You've said the 4 main things in general. I don't want to go back and forth with it. I just want to
got every single one of them, that's what I don't understand. Lukaku's got every single one, and the only one he might be lacking a little bit is the mentality. But the other 3 he's definitely got, which is why I find this whole conversation about he's not good enough mad, because he's literally got definitely 3 of the 4 things you want from a striker, and I'd argue the 4th as well.
He's a good player. Like, for anybody saying he's not he's every bit of a fantastic goal scorer. So I wouldn't be upset if they get him. For me, it was a preference thing. But I would back Lukaku. I'd back Lukaku 100%.
Oh, come on, Declared, bro. You're better than this.
Like obese peeps blaming Mickey D for being fat. I feel like both of them.
I think you're trolling at this point, bro.
Lukaku has an 8-pack, though, guys.
And it's a choice, bro.
you know exactly what we're saying, man. They wanted him to bulk up. Whatever happened, happened. Bro. Simple as, man. It's not that hard to actually understand, man. Come on.
Yeah. I remember saying Romelu at United eating like me in COVID as well.
Also, there's a point we haven't touched on, to be fair, that I think is actually quite a good point. Everyone's saying, "Oh, we're paying 100 million or whatever it is for for Lukaku, so we might as well pay the 150 for Haaland." It's not going to be 150. It's going to be like closer to 200, 250 with all the add-ons and shit, and all the Raiola and how much he's going to want for wages. So in theory, it's going to be a lot cheaper to get Lukaku. A lot.
Arthur, you're doing me such a good service right now. Give me a sec. I'm just getting some more Romelu stats up on here.
Any movement on that Dortmund live training? Has that started yet?
Yeah,
the world's most watched training session.
The Dortmund YouTube admin's gonna be like, "We've got 19 million views right now."
Yeah.
I don't know what people are expecting. Him to be wearing a Chelsea shirt in the training ground.
No, they're trying to see if he's there or not.
He's gonna be there, guys. I don't know, like, why we're looking at it. Why would he not?
Kane lasted a whole day.
The guy's not doing a Harry Kane, guys. Like, let's be frankly honest. He's not trying to move like that, bro. It's simple. He said, like, he's open.
Did you know Romelu Lukaku in his last season at United had a better conversion rate than Harry Kane did last season?
Ooh, interesting.
No one really mentioned that.
What was that?
What was that point? Romelu Lukaku's conversion rate in his last season at United was better than Kane's last season.
Someone put it. Hang on, let me find. There was a comment that I wanted you to bring up.
Despite playing less games,
his goals. Someone put his goals. Oh yeah, Lukaku has 155 goals and assists in 252 Premier League games.
That's really good.
People take the piss out of this guy just because he had at United. It's ridiculous.
But you know, this is the issue, innit? Like, the clubs never get blamed for this shit. It's always the players' fault, innit? Always the players' fault.
Here's the stuff now. I'll go through the super chat first so I can get rid of it. Big up famous D Rothschild saying, "Stop chatting trash about United just to make your point. Lukaku just got matured now. Cavani, Bruno played well under Ole. Everyone on this panel is two-faced." What do you mean about chatting trash about United?
Wow. Can I just make a point?
I mean, realistically, we'll chat trash about United anyway because we're Chelsea.
Defensive match, my friend. Defensive match.
Sorry, I was going to say
Lukaku just got matured now, but he got 28 league goals in his first season for you guys as well. Like, he's been matured. It's just he's at his best at fucking Inter Milan. But that doesn't mean he's matured.
Just on like the bit about they played well, Cavani was shit unless Pogba was in the team, and Bruno, that's because he had no instructions and was playing as a second striker
and scored like 14 penalties.
So
and doesn't turn up. This
isn't even an Ole thing. Like, I don't think anyone was getting at Ole with any of the points he was saying. Like, he was big.
You guys can keep Ole.
No. I don't get at Ole. Ole is a shit manager, bro. My guy, you're fucking Ole out for finishing second and doing nothing in any other flipping competition with the squad he has.
Hang on. Man. They got to Europa League final. Come on, give Ole respect.
No, I'm not giving Ole respect. Pogba got
What the hell? I don't respect him either.
Yeah, Lewis, nobody's getting. Go ahead, my bad.
Hasnain also appreciate the donations, guys. Helping the channel out. Saying big up Hasnain, saying Drogba's highest goal scoring season was at 32. Lukaku has plenty of seasons in him and is Premier League proven. Haaland is not. People are finally speaking my language. Finally, man. I've been trying to drill this into people's ears for months. People say they don't want Lukaku just because he's a few years older than Erling Haaland, like it makes any difference. Big up yourself for the super chat.
But Chelsea fans want Harry Kane, who's exactly the same age pretty much. Like, they're 28 each in a couple of months.
Right, I don't know why Lukaku's getting the different energy.
I don't know.
It's because of the image he has. Like, that's why it is. It's because the image he has, and people can only remember the United stuff. They don't remember anything else.
But his first United season was actually good. He got 20+ goals. Why is that bad?
I mean the end of it. I mean, like, that last season.
Yeah. The last season, 17 goals, of course. But then again, I would take that Chelsea.
I brought it up earlier, but if I'm being really cynical about it, and understand people in the chat, I really like Haaland. I want him as my first choice. But he scored goals in the Austrian league for the best team in the league that win the league every single year. Without a shadow of a doubt, they win it every single year. And he scored goals in the Bundesliga where it's really easy to score goals. Like, it's really
Timo gets a lot of goals there.
Bar the Champions League thing, he's done nothing. If we're looking at this really, really cynically, he's done fuck all. He's done literally fuck all. Didn't help his team in the Champions League when they needed it against City.
Later, boys.
Didn't do anything.
See you later, Josh.
Take care, bro.
Like, if we're looking at things really cynically, he's done fuck all. I want him, obviously. He's my first choice, as I said. But if we're looking at him, how we're looking at Haaland, how we're looking at Lukaku, excuse me, then he's done fuck all. Like that's my point. It's like, if you're gonna discredit Lukaku for the stuff he's done, you've got to discredit Haaland for not doing stuff as well, because he's done it in either bad leagues or he's done it in a league where it's easy to score goals.
Yep, they play a high line.
You've got to have the same energy for both, or you just have an agenda at this point.
Oh, there's Romelu Lukaku and Kane stats per 90. You are an angel, man. Honestly, much appreciated. I didn't even go through these ones as well. So, what was it? Oh, welcome back, Jesters, as well. Much appreciated. Like we said, Romelu Lukaku per 90 had a better conversion rate than Harry Kane did last season, despite 18-19 being his worst Premier League season. Obviously, all the other stats are still further behind as well. But this is, again, just to say, don't just discredit Romelu Lukaku, and this is still the numbers that he drops in his worst Premier League season in England. And obviously, you got the numbers as well at Manchester United too. Conversion rate is still ridiculous, and it's still very close to Erling Haaland's numbers of last season too. So people, just stop trying to act like Romelu Lukaku is a massive downgrade from Erling Haaland, because it really isn't. Like, we're fine with either of them. You man are just moving crazy in the comments.
But Lewis, what we shouldn't do as well. We shouldn't try. Like, I know we haven't done it, but we shouldn't like then go the opposite and go why we think we want him more than Haaland. Every single person on this panel wants Haaland. Yeah, every single person wants Haaland. Yeah, they do want Haaland. No one's discrediting anything like that. But we're not going to simply just say, you know, Lukaku's better than Haaland because of this, and this. We're just reacting to what we're being told, and it looks like Lukaku is the main target now. But, you know, it might change tomorrow and Haaland news will come up, and Haaland will be the main target. We just don't know, you know.
Andrew says it, and it's on Twitter. Through Absolute Shells via James Ollie. Now that, I'm surmising here, now that Inter have rejected our latest bid on Lukaku, Chelsea might be looking for other options.
Exactly. So it just changes. It changes hour by hour now. You know what I mean? It's just
really and truly. This doesn't mean we are getting Lukaku anyway. It just shows that we are pushing for him. We might not end up getting him. We might end up getting Haaland. We might not end up getting either. It is what it is.
Exactly. I don't see us getting either. But we're gonna go. Like I told you before, we're doing these deals concurrently, so we get one of the two.
Yeah.
So
which is what we should be doing. That's what we should be doing.
That's good business.
It is. It's smart. Because once you know you can't get the other one, one of them, you go for the other one. That's your next call.
And we know what the deals are. We know what we have to put in to get them.
Exactly.
So I didn't even look and see if Haaland was at training today. Let me do that real quick. Go ahead and read that.
There's another one.
Big up Harrison as well. Much appreciated, my guy. Appreciate the love and the donation. Saying Lukaku can score against fearless action defenders, whilst Bundesliga defense attempt mannequin challenge when Haaland's in the 18-yard box. That's one way of looking at it. But like I said, the Bundesliga is such a more open league, which is why I'm telling you the adjustment period is going to be a lot harsher on Erling Haaland than it would be Romelu Lukaku.
But he bangs in the Champions League as well, so we can't even like discredit him that because he bangs in the Champions League. You know,
I'm not saying nothing about the Champions League.
I know you're not. But
open to.
But exactly. But what I'm saying is,
teams don't sit deep like that in the Champions League either, unless you're playing like top 4 teams that aren't standing a chance of even getting out of the group stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Premier League is like half the teams are low blocks. Every single time I see us playing in a league match, we're playing against a low block. Romelu Lukaku, I think, handles that a lot better than Erling Haaland does. But I still say, in the long term, Erling Haaland would be a better asset for us than Romelu Lukaku. I mean, that just goes without saying. So don't sit here and just think I'm going to be here biased and just talking about Romelu Lukaku and that's the guy that I want. So I'm just going to slander Haaland. If that's what you guys are thinking in the comment section. I'm happy with either. It's just there's positives to one, there's positives to another. There's negatives to one, there's negatives to another. It goes both ways. It just depends on whichever one we get in.
Yeah.
Did you talk about the Callum link?
Nah, we haven't even got into that, but I know you're itching to talk about that. Yeah, hopefully
Never.
to be going to Napoli, not Napoli, for fuck's sake, sorry, Lazio for the season. Which I'm surprised with, especially with all the talk about Thomas Tuchel saying there's no more hiding for Hudson-Odoi. Are we going to let him go on loan for the season? I really doubt that.
I don't know. If you were fourth choice winger, third choice wing back, and wanted to prove yourself, would you stay at Chelsea or would you go on loan and put the minutes in?
I mean, he could do either. And I think he'd have a good chance of succeeding with either option.
No, he doesn't get the game time at Chelsea. How are you going to
more games? And there's more of an opportunity for him to break into the squad.
He's still fourth choice winger.
But will he remain fourth choice winger?
Yes. What is he going to do in training? What are you going to prove in training that you can't go game time?
Games to prove
Jester, you're saying fourth choice winger to left side, right? So who comes ahead of him in left wing?
I understand you saying that now. Fourth choice winger, cool. To say that he would remain fourth choice winger for the entire season, I'm not too sure about. Because
what have you seen?
It would depend on how he is in training. It would depend on how he is in training, and unfortunately, none of us can tell how he is in training.
Well, yeah, we can because he didn't play a lot last year.
I was going to say, no, we can. What's the word? We can guess and we can make assumptions, but in terms of like actual facts, we don't know how he's playing in training, but we can make assumptions that he must not be training as well as he probably could do, or as well as Thomas Tuchel wants him to. Is the only thing we can surmise as to why he's not playing, because like in terms of like he's shown that on the pitch he can do well. He still needs to improve in some areas, definitely, but we've seen that there's been problems with every player in terms of that attacking area. So it must be in training. It's got to be in training. Otherwise, you can't tell me why like Ziyech is playing regularly over him.
Well, obviously he's doing something that Tuchel likes, or he wouldn't play.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, that's what it is.
CFC Pubman saying people say no to Romelu Lukaku and Jorginho as top goal scorer. That's why we literally just need a gun, man, and that's it. I don't care which one it is. Kane, Lukaku, Haaland. I said that and I stick with it. A lot of you, man, in the comment section are not sticking with it. Because you said one of the three. As soon as it's not the one that you wanted, you man are getting pissy about it. Why are you getting pissy about it? We need a striker. We need a clinical number 9, and that is it. Romelu Lukaku is a clinical number 9. Erling Haaland is a clinical number 9. Harry Kane is a clinical number 9. Just get a number 9 in that can bag goals, and then we should be happy. Why are we complaining?
I'm not going to lie. If it wasn't for his injury record, I would take Danny Ings, but I know he's got cheese for knees, and I don't want him to get an injury halfway through the season that keeps him out for 4 months.
Cheese for knees.
So, again, to those in chat, let me tell you one thing. If you think Callum is better than Pulisic, either one, you have an agenda, or two, you don't know ball. So you figure out which one it is. There is nothing on earth that you can point to that says that Callum is better than Pulisic right now today. Not
just in general, like as a player. I think Callum Hudson-Odoi is more creative than Pulisic.
No, he's not.
You don't think he's more creative?
Not based on the end of last season when I'm seeing.
I think at 1v1s he's better.
No, he's not better than 1v1s.
The box. He's
no, he's not better than 1v1.
I'm giving up.
He's not better than
your best player at 1v1s.
No, he's not.
Not based on the end of last season. Like he was probably at one point, but bearing in mind what I saw from Pulisic, like internationally as well, and towards the end of last season against the likes of Real Madrid and against did he play against City? I can't remember if he did, but like in those games, yeah, no. Like the only thing someone can tell me that Xavi's footed shows probably more two-footed. That's the only thing.
He's not more. Did you see him in the game where they showed this clip on Twitter where he gets the ball in midfield and does a huge turn using only his right foot. Doesn't put the ball on his left foot ever to make a quicker turn. He's turning like a semi because he only wants to use his right foot. Don't tell me that Callum Hudson-Odoi has a better left foot than somebody who can bang in goals top bins with his left foot. I don't want to hear that junk.
No, someone's got the right answer. The only thing is Hudson-Odoi is more healthy. Like, he's less injury prone.
I still think 1v1s he is better. I think statistically he's been a better player at driving into the box the entire season. I haven't got the chart that I had, but I've seen it a few months ago.
No, based on the end of last season, man. Like, I'm just remembering that Aston Villa game where, like, I think it was that game where he with the passing thing, I'm seeing people mention, he played the ball behind someone. They were in and he played it behind them and ruined a goal scoring opportunity. And then he had the chance to put a ball in or take a player on. He played it back to Chilwell for a cross into the box. Like, nah.
Yeah, overall, I can agree that Pulisic is better than Callum Hudson-Odoi right now. That's fine, but there's still elements of his game that Hudson-Odoi has over Pulisic.
Well, he's a better right foot crosser from wing back.
No, 1v1s. Like, I'm sticking to it. I think he's better at 1v1s than Pulisic.
Okay, go put Liverpool on and watch him go through 3 people, and you tell me
the
that
5-3 game.
I remember that.
Yeah.
No, I recall that one as well. But I remember so many games I've seen Hudson-Odoi playing, and he's dominated whoever's on the left-hand side.
It's not even that. Go and put the Wolves game on where I think it was the one we lost 1-0 where Pedro Neto, or we lost where Pedro Neto got the goal in the final minute where he was ruining Semedo the whole
2-1,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, that was one of
Semedo
his
was having fucking nightmares.
Like, I remember we were fuming because he was balling out on the left-hand side the first half, absolutely tearing him apart, and Lampard put him onto the right for the second and killed him.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't even me trying to slander Pulisic. I think Pulisic's a class winger. I think he's got a lot above Callum Hudson-Odoi too. I can admit that, but I still think 1v1s Callum Hudson-Odoi has him.
Yep. I can't see. The reason he's 4th choice is he doesn't do anything better than the 3 people in front of him. Not one thing.
That I agree with. He doesn't do anything better than anyone else on our front line.
Other than like I said, 1v1s and driving into the box, I can agree with you on that.
So that's why he's 4th choice, because Werner gives you a quicker option, somebody who's going to run the entire time. Of course, Mount's going to control the game, give you 100%, going to run through a wall, going to play defense, going to start the play. With Pulisic, he can turn a game on. He can actually win a game by himself. He showed that. I've not seen that from Callum. So Callum has none of those things on the left over those people. On the right, you have Havertz. Enough said.
Don't get it twisted. I really like Hudson-Odoi.
Check your DMs.
Like, I really like Hudson-Odoi, and I think he can become really good. But the problem is like he has. The main thing for me is his decision making, and I know he's 20. I think he's 20, but like, there's certain things, and it's little things. It's not massive things. Like, it's not game-winning moments, but it's little things. Like in the Atletico Madrid game, you're 1-on-1. All you gotta do is take a touch and put it past the keeper, and you fuck up your first touch, or you're driving it like into the box, as Lewis said, and it's like all you've got to do is play a simple pass, and you fuck up and play it behind the guy. So it's little things like that. It's small decisions like that. It's not massive, like, game-winning moments. It's little decisions like that. And it's like, no, I've got to see more in that moment. That's where I want him to improve. And that's the one area I think it really lets him down. Is his decision-making is just arse.
Yeah, so Scott says his decision-making is ass. And we have people in the comment going, oh, he's the most creative player on the team. If he was that creative, he would start. But he's not. So he's on the bench.
Ziyech is our most creative player.
So understand, when you put stupid stuff in the comments and the dude's riding a pine, it doesn't 2 and 2 always equal 4. You're saying 2 and 2 equals 1. Okay? If he is that good, he'd play for Chelsea. He wouldn't be 4th choice. He wouldn't be 3rd choice wing back right now. He would be up there with Mount, first name on the sheet, if he was as good as everybody makes him out.
All right.
Before you say something, I know you're gonna have a lot to say. The Danzo has literally put it perfectly. I don't think I could put it better. His comment, like, he could one day be, and he probably will be better than Pulisic, but right now his game hasn't matured yet.
I agree with
like
that.
it's a long-term game with him, and that's fine. Just before you go, Xavi, sackable offence says no club makes a bid if the player doesn't want to join. Are you talking about Erling Haaland on this one?
I think
feel like it's the only one that makes sense, but Haaland does want to join Chelsea. He is interested in the project. Lukaku isn't necessarily saying no, he's weighing up his options right now, and that's the only player that we're interested in right now, so it must be one or the other. Xavi, what are you going to say? Because I know you've come here to back up Callum Hudson-Odoi. What are you saying, bro?
Yeah, it's not like people are like far off, but to say that he does nothing better than the 4 people in front of him is absurd. Like, so who are the 4 people that are in front of him?
Werner, Mount, Pulisic.
So,
Three people in front of him.
Yeah,
I can accept.
All right, so I'm a big Ziyech fan, but to say that Callum doesn't do anything better than Ziyech, that's absurd.
I said Werner, Mount, and Pulisic on the left-hand side.
When I say he doesn't do anything better, I mean as in what they bring to the table, he doesn't do anything. What their best attribute is better than them.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, with Pulisic, he doesn't. For me, he's not a better dribbler than Pulisic, and doesn't drive at players better than he does. For Ziyech, he's not better creatively than he is. For Werner, he's not better at finding space and creating space for others than he is. For Mount, he's not better at holding up the ball and dictating players better as he is. That's what I mean. All of those players are in the team for a certain thing, and he doesn't. None of what they do better than them, if that makes sense.
Okay, I like that's a fair point, but at the same time, he has his uses, and he will start certain games over them. So, for example, if we're playing like say like a Burnley or like a Crystal Palace, where he's good at linking up the play with like Havertz, and he's not far off in one-on-one dribbling than Pulisic. Pulisic is a great dribbler, but I think one-on-one when it's time to beat a man with skill, I think CHO is better.
He's going to go to the right every time.
He has no. That's not true. What did he do to Pablo Mari?
And what ended up in that? Nothing.
But listen, what did he had a shot on goal that hit the keeper? But what did he do? What did he do to Pablo Mari? Did he go to his right?
No, he sent him to his left.
Exactly.
Which is what you do with Callum because he doesn't have a left foot.
He did not send him to the left. He got beat with skill.
Yeah, he beat him. To be fair, I can't argue with him there. He did beat him. Like, Mari was just...
That's
Xavi.
biasness in the conversation.
Xavi, the Burnley games and stuff, don't you think it'd be wing back a certain more because he can attack a lot more and like Burnley just be sitting back and he's just
I'm
helping
saying like even if all right, Everton. Look at Everton.
Yeah.
Look at that game against Everton when he's playing left wing. He was the main reason why, like his accuracy and pass, like when he crosses the ball and when he passes, they're very efficient. Like I think Scott mentioned one behind the ball pass, but I think at the same time, like Pulisic should be doing that too. You know what I mean? Like he's not far. I think it's not. What y'all saying is not far off and not wrong, but y'all being clearly harsh on Callum. Like Scott making logical points, but to say all right, Mount him versus Mount. I think Callum is way more creative.
Oh yeah, of course.
I know, I agree, but I know that Mount's not in the team for his creativity. We've already had a conversation. Do you know how I feel about Mount when it comes to creativity in the final third? I already know how I feel. I agree that Hudson-Odoi is so much more has much more creativity, got it eventually, than Mount does. But Mount's in that front three because of what he does off the ball.
And CHO is the youngest out of all of them.
How old is CHO? Like 20?
Yeah, he's 20, I think.
I would say a loan move would be good for him, but like since how high? No, I'm just saying because his wage is so high, it can't be done.
I was going to say
because like loan moves are good. They are good.
To the right club.
Most of players do go on loan.
Yeah, from 1 year to the right club, but we put ourselves in a position where we can't because of his wages and because of how we've positioned him at the club with what he's on and everything.
But the thing is, my question is, why would you loan him? We have some of the best players we have young players, but we have the best manager for him. Like, I feel like the reason why he came back, even in this mind state in preseason, is because the way Thomas Tuchel is with him. Like, Thomas Tuchel doesn't accept mediocrity. Like, he makes sure you perform at your highest level at all times. Like, he's not going to get that. I feel like he's at the potential to be in the squad. Like, he has his uses. Like, he's not going to play every game. He's 20. I feel like once CHO shows mentally that he's ready, he's gonna get those consistent games. It's not. I don't think it's any like even if you've seen the preseason game, right? He's there talking to other player about tactics. Do you think before Tuchel came in, he will be talking about that with them? He's like working with Chalaba. All right, dude. I don't know what exactly he's saying, but he's even asking Tuchel. All right, this is this was happening. If it's a lone move like that, he wouldn't have that.
Take care, guys.
Take care, bro.
See you later, yeah.
So,
So you like how Tuchel's managing him then, right? Like you like how he's managed.
Perfect. Like even I may switch topics a little bit. The comments that he said on Ruben Loftus-Cheek, like that's exactly what Ruben Loftus needs. Like Ruben is a player that needs like the manager to believe in him. You know what I mean? So he says he needs to push Ruben to his absolute potential, where he goes back and drives at players and takes more. I mean, you don't want to take the craziest risk where he's playing, but believe in himself. I forgot the exact words, and that's exactly what Ruben
You can believe in yourself all you want to. You're not beating out the people in front of you with your current talent. You have to go on loan to develop. You're not going to develop sitting on the pine playing games every 3 weeks. He is going to sit on the pine. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
How do you know that? How do you know the preseason form that he showed? There's a lot of guys that did not come back yet.
Preseason form? He played one game and got roasted on defense at wing back. He didn't track his runner once.
He played both games actually. The first game he played up.
I didn't see the first game because it was behind door. I didn't see it.
Myron Phillips as well saying, Xavi, show us a rep for wanting to use his right, which is why he could sell the defender with a basic shimmy. Not far off Pulisic, but not there yet. Yeah, not there yet. I can understand.
Everybody thinks that Pulisic is not going to get better. He's 22.
I agree with that.
So he's going to get better too. Everybody on the team is going to get better.
Though. That's not my point. I just argued that one thing where you said he always goes to his right when he clearly beat Pablo Mari to his left. So clearly he has that in him. And then
he looks to go to his right though. He sets up his right foot the whole time.
Though, but he's done it. Like he's done that shows that he's capable of doing it. So you don't think someone could build upon that? If you get confidence in doing that one time, you don't think you could do it again?
Look, I understand that everybody wants to put Pulisic and Cho in the same debate because I'm American.
No,
but remember, there are other people on this team that Cho does not get in front of. Mason Mount, Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech. But you're not comparing them with any of those people.
He could definitely get I compare him with Mount. I think he's more creative than Mount. I compare with Ziyech. I think he offers
Mount. So you're going to tell Johnny that Callum is going to start over Mount?
Yes.
You could tell him that.
But Johnny's not the manager. Johnny isn't the manager, though.
I was going to say he's not the right man.
Then you tell Tuchel that Cho is going to start over Mount. He'll laugh in your face too.
Training or not?
I knew you would have said that, Scott.
But the thing is, I think
it's not even trying to get at Johnny or trying to get a Mount or anything. I think if Mount is better further back in the centre of midfield, I think if you're thinking of a front three, I wouldn't even start Callum, but I'd say he should get more opportunities there. But my front three, if we had with what we've got at the minute, would be Pulisic, Werner, and Havertz. If I had my front three.
And those guys can't we play a lot of games too. So alone is I don't think alone is a viable option because Callum has his uses. You know what I mean?
He's only not going on loan because of his wages. Yeah, that's what's happened. Yeah. He should have gone on loan.
The club can pay part of it.
Yeah, but he should have gone on loan. He should have gone on loan.
If a loan was to happen, it should have happened earlier.
That's what I'm saying. You can't do it now.
Because you can't send him on loan when he does his Achilles.
Exactly. That's the problem. He should have gone through. He hasn't gone through the process like Mount and Reece James and even Tammy has gone through. He's not gone through that process. That's what he is missing, that experience. And if Tuchel, how long will it take? Because I rate Cho and I hope he does really well and I want him to have a run. But if he comes January and he's not getting a regular in this team, he needs to ask for himself to go out on loan.
Yeah,
because it's not fair. You see, that's logical.
That's not fair.
But I think
not fair for him to do.
I think Cho's in the best position that he's ever been at to prove himself.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, if it comes to January 1st and he's not in regular, then he needs to go to Tuchel and go, I need to go out on loan for the next 6
Yeah,
months.
you
I just need to
don't
go.
you don't want Callum to play right wing back as his position.
Why
You
not?
want him to play forward, where he's going to.
Okay.
When I say a forward position, as a winger or inside forward, the position that you want to see him at, his best position. And the only way he's going to get consistent game time at that position is on a loan.
All right. This is where I disagree with you because our right wing backs basically play as wingers. They are makeshift wingers. So he's playing right wing back, but he also has to worry about his defensive side of the game. So that makes him more tactically aware, which he's clearly is not the strongest at.
So how many games is he going to start at right wing back this year?
He has to try. He could start a lot of games when we're playing
Put
defense.
a number to it. Is what I'm telling you. Put a number on how many games he will start at right wing back.
Let me think of the teams that he could clearly start at.
There is one big problem with him starting at right wing back. There is one big problem with him starting at right wing back, and that's if we get Koundé. Because Koundé will play the right centre back, which is where Reece James could play. That's what, because I was thinking about that. I was thinking Callum could play a lot of right wing back, and Reece James could play a lot of right centre back. Because Dave's probably not going to play as many games with aging and whatnot. But if we get Koundé, he is that right centre back.
And then you guys got to think of like even if it's depth, like we play a lot of games. Those guys get injured, like you know what I mean. Reece James is always 100 fit. Like he's one of we're gonna go out and get another one to replace him. Like I do not want to play Aspie at right wing back, bro.
Well, he's going to play there. He's played there a lot.
I feel like Tuchel, if Cho, I think you were harsh on saying Cho's having a bad preseason because I think he was one of the best. He was our best performance in the Bournemouth game, and I think he had a decent game against Arsenal.
I think he's been like top 3. I would say easily.
I think you guys way overrated his performance.
It's not overrated.
And I've seen that for a year.
Very harsh.
Anytime he does something, it's like, oh man, that's the greatest thing that's ever happened.
No, it's not.
But no, that's exactly what it is. I've watched streams. I've watched all the streams for a year. And when every time Callum does anything good, like you're saying, he had 2 moments in the Arsenal game, and you haven't stopped talking about the 2 moments he had. 2 moments. 2 moments in a game is not something.
What are those 2 moments? Name it, because I can name another moment where he did well defensively too. I think he came in to the box off the left, and the time he went around Murray. I can't remember the first time. But but nothing came of it. And then he did one trick, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's Callum. He's great." And I'm just defending your point that you made. He didn't go to the left. I'm not big. I'm not like, oh, I know Cho has a lot of, but I feel like you're being incredibly harsh on Cho. Like you feel me?
I'm being harsh on the people who rep him. No. I like Callum. I think he's going to be a good player.
There's some statements that are too far. Like it's too far, bro. Like I know he has development, but like he does do good stuff, and he does have his juice in his side. Like he does.
What I'm saying is, the Cho stands like to elevate the good stuff, as in it's miraculous, and they downplay the small stuff or the other stuff that he got wrong. Tuchel was not happy with Callum after the Arsenal game because if everybody doesn't remember, he started on the right-hand side. He wasn't starting left wing back. He was starting right wing back. And Tierney skinned him. And they moved him over to the left to play against Callum Chambers and put Pulisic on the right-hand side to deal with Tierney. Now, you tell me how that's a good game.
Bro,
did all the training get cancelled?
You're nitpicking because, like, he was one of the best. He was one of, I feel like, I recognize Cho as like, yo, I'm impressed with what he's doing. Of course, that's not his strongest part of his game, and he has to improve on that. But I did see him. I did, as bad as that is, and you could pick out other players that did bad stuff too. You don't say they had a horrible. Who you think had a good game for it?
Delayed by 30 minutes.
No, I think Werner had a good game. He had an assist.
Okay,
Havertz had a good game. He had a goal.
Werner had a good game, right? But he had a one-on-one when he did awful.
He still had an assist.
Do you mean the one? Wait. Do you mean the one-on-one on the side of the goal?
He did it with his right foot.
Yeah, he smashed the side of the net. That's not like a clear cut chance.
There's a pass, but he still didn't get it on target. Like that's not.
No, yeah.
Right there.
Still had the assist.
Before you guys go off, Before you guys go off, Ken Berry saying Cho is the only attacking player who has never gone an actual run of games in his career. He has only had moments because he has very limited play time. I hear a lot of what's being saying about the Hudson-Odoi Pulisic debate as well, but I do hear that point as well. He hasn't been given a consistent run of games at left wing yet, and that's the only question mark that's still left yet. I want to see what he's like when you give him a run of games at left wing first, but we have to be in a position where we play him first. Go on, Scott.
I also think him staying at the club is actually the best thing because, like I think Xavi mentioned, playing under Tuchel is like just being in training with Tuchel he's gonna learn a lot, and I think it's different to the Gilmore situation because I know some people will bring that up where Gilmore is fighting over two positions and really one with Jorginho, and Jorginho, the way he plays means he's able to finish a lot of games. He's able to play 90 minutes a lot more than most of our forwards. So therefore, we're going to be rotating the forwards a lot more than we will the midfielders. So Callum probably will get a lot more game time than others, just because of the need for rotation.
Yeah, it won't. We won't rotate as much as you think because we're too deep. We're too deep in every position. We're too deep in every position.
You can't go a whole season without rotation. Otherwise, you're gonna run the players into the ground.
What I'm saying is, we're already too deep in every position.
I don't think we're too deep. I think in terms of
guys. See you later.
All right, Andrew.
In terms of forwards, I think we're one striker away and we're fine. Like the only person we need to really get rid of is Tammy. In midfield, we're fine. We're fine in every position. Like the only position will be like deep in will be centre back, and that's if we get Koundé. Apart from that, I think our squad is fine in terms of, and then we're selling Zuma. So I think our squad's fine in terms of like how deep it is in every area. If anything, we're a little light in a couple of areas, like at wing back. But apart from that, I'd say we're fine in terms of how deep we are.
Then to add on it, Scott, these guys like Aspie and Reece James, they came back late in preseason. Like I feel like Cho has the best chance to prove himself because he's gonna play. Like he had a full preseason. You feel me? I feel like the other guys have to catch back up to speed and stuff like that. Like Reece James didn't play at all for England. Aspie just came back. Like he has the best chance, and I don't even think Pulisic has looked that good in preseason.
What are you talking about?
I gotta admit, like in preseason, it's only preseason under day, but I think Cho has been better in preseason.
No, you guys are smoking some serious crack. You need to stop.
Just to like,
I don't think much in Pulisic. You need to go to a 12-step program because you lost your beloved mind. Did you see the chip over the top to Ziyech that he didn't finish? That was Pulisic.
Who you think had a better preseason right now, Pulisic or Cho?
Both have had good preseasons. Like, I'm not even gonna. I don't want to take the Arsenal game into account because Pulisic played right wing back, and he's not a right wing back. Like, he got skinned, but like rightfully so.
So yeah,
both have had good preseasons. Wing backs. So
I don't think he's bad preseason.
I think Cho has better than preseason.
Riddle me this, people. Who played forwards or wingers second half or forward second half of the Arsenal game? Was it Callum or was it Pulisic?
Ball progressors. What is this chart saying?
Europe's best under 25 ball progressors. I think this is similar to what I was trying to talk about earlier. Hudson-Odoi is very high up on that. I think he's the highest up of anyone in our squad, but that's just
with the least amount of game time. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a quality player there still. Like, I think the debate is very open between the pair of them, but there's also longevity to take into account too, because this is something that's going to be going on for years.
Like, you know me, I don't like hyping players. Like, for example, what you were saying about...
Were you hyping Cho?
I'm being real, bro.
No, you're hyping him.
How's that not hyping him? I'm saying he has a lot to work on, bro. His defensive... Like, him getting skinned. He needs to work on that.
I'm always on the fence, bro. That means I'm never wrong.
But the thing is, you made a point where you said Cho stands elevate his strong points and, like, hide his weaknesses. That's the same thing we can make about, like, a Mount or something like that. Like, they like the player. They like the player. Of course, it's natural human psychology. Just like you like Pulisic and you highlight his strengths and you clearly don't look at his weaknesses. And it's true.
I do. Look, I'm the guy who sat on here and said if he had a bad season, we should sell him. Okay?
You see what you're saying?
I'm the same guy.
Right? I'm saying the same thing. And I'm saying I hear the biasness you have in Cho, bro. Like, you probably not realize it, but like you. I mean, maybe you're just being that guy that makes sure you point out his weaknesses. But there's some statements that are very harsh, and that is like you're saying like that fourth thing, bro. Like Cho needs to loan. Like I don't. That's like harsh, bro. Like
that he doesn't need a loan move that would actually benefit
not
him.
even the loan, but there's some statements.
Why don't you go
There's
talk to
some statements.
Monstar, who was a professional football, and see if he wants to sit on the bench or play?
I'll talk to Monstar that said Pulisic had a worse season than Tammy. Do you agree with that?
What does that have to do with the price of tea?
You're saying ask him.
It depends if you're looking at
worse season than Tammy.
I'll say
yeah. I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with that at all.
What I'm saying is, if you are a professional footballer, would you rather sit on the bench behind players or go play?
If I'm
go play if you're a young kid.
If it depends. If I'm working under Tuchel and I know I could elevate my game under Tuchel with the group of players that I could grow with, and like I have like the seniors, like you're not gonna get more better opportunity than Chelsea. Like where else are you gonna go? It's a step down in level where you're gonna go, and it's not like I'm writing. I'm not like I'm right. If I have a chance that I know I could prove myself and my coach is fair, as long as I know my coach doesn't play favorites and he's fair, and I have my chance to prove myself, I'm gonna stay on this team. And I know I'm improving, like certain stuff I'm realizing in my game, like tactically. All right, let me ask this coach what I need. If my coach is giving me clear instructions on what I need to do, and I'm trying my best to live up that potential, of course I'm gonna stay on the team, which I think Cho is doing.
I'm not upset. It's just a stupid argument to make that not playing will make you better than playing. That doesn't make any sense.
But the thing is, it's not like he's not gonna play. That's what we're saying, though. You act like he's gonna rot on the bench.
He is.
Come on.
If you bring in Jules Koundé and Tchouaméni, and a striker, that's three people that are now in the rotation to play. Koundé is going to play right center back, which leaves an Aspie and RJ wing back position rotation. Tchouaméni is going to go into the midfield. Now you have a striker, which means Werner gets knocked down a peg because it's going to be the new striker. Havertz and Mount are going to start. Let's get it straight. Again, you don't see Pulisic. I didn't put Pulisic in the lineup because I know he's not going to start over Mount or Havertz or Haaland or Lukaku, whatever one comes in. I'm not dumb. Okay?
What are you trying to say? We're dumb?
No, what I'm saying is I'm not going to make a dumb statement like he's going to start over those people because I know he's not.
No, nobody said Callum will either.
So, but that means Callum goes further down in the pecking order. If everybody else is shifting down and he's already at the bottom of the pecking order, was he over Charlie Musonda? He's over Charlie Musonda.
You're talking about hypothetical situations. Are we definitely going to get Tchouaméni? We're working on Koundé. And I could agree if that's going to happen, Tuchel's going to be very honest and be like, okay, I want a loan move for Cho to get his development. Like he sees in something in Callum Gallagher. He would do that. So like, if that's going to happen, Tuchel knows what's best and he will loan him out. But if Tuchel has him in his plan, he's going to keep him in the squad.
Yep, E-Rock saying Pulisic is a better winger. Callum Hudson-Odoi is a better wing back. If we can calmly just agree on that, then I think we can end it on a good note. Because
I think
that's a mutual agreement.
I will give you that Callum is a better right wing back than Pulisic. I'll give you that.
I mean, you have to, unless he's smoking that za.
Not today.
No, that's fair.
I'll give you that Callum is a better wing back.
It made like sound like I'm just Cho stand, but I just came because I couldn't hit like there's some points that were unfair to I had to. I'm like a realist with like I don't like certain players. I get it. Like we hide like players we hide their weaknesses but we elevate their strengths. It's like a kid. Like you say your son sometimes like in front of people like you know what I mean. But that's Chelsea. That's us fans for you.
So like, the reason we're talking about Callum is because an article came out that said that Lazio wants him on loan.
Oh,
that's why we're talking about Callum.
I joined link. So I just heard the end portion.
Yeah, that's why we brought Callum up, and everybody's like, no, he needs to stay. Well, if Lazio is playing under Maurizio Sarri, who he's played under before, He's going to play an offensive game. So it's a good loan move for somebody you want to develop as a winger, not as a wing back. So I think it's a good move for him to get the game time under a good. It's not like we're sending him to go play under Arteta. It's Maurizio Sarri, who's won a Scudetto and a Europa League the last 2 years he's coached.
I feel like those links, like they want RLC because he worked on his Sarri.
Well, that was also linked as well, but
damn, you're about to end. I wanted to talk about RLC.
RLC. I think he's got the best chance to make the team.
Yeah, I think
out of all the
Tuchel sounds very positive about him. It sounds like he's
I'm justified,
and it's his ability to play as a 6 that's going to help him.
Hang on.
He will fit there.
Sorry, who said this a little while ago? That he'd have the ability to play as a 6 if he had the right manager.
Was it Fatur?
No, that was me.
I know I said it.
I was one of the people who said it.
I know I said it at one point. I can't say that I was before you, Scotty. If you said it,
I honestly can't remember if it was before you, but I know I said it at one point.
Look,
because he's got the build for it. Like he's got the perfect build for it.
Big up Myron, say Jester Bain, the ever-loving shit out of the chat. I can't lie, it is glorious. I love the debates. I love the drama on this channel as well. You and Jester were both right about it. I didn't really think he would play well as a number 6. I thought his main position was further forward, but you know what? He's showing himself up to be really good in that position, and I'm hoping to see more of it tomorrow in the Spurs game too.
Yeah, because he's got I said, he's got the build for it. It was just whether he had the temperament to play there, and I think Tuchel, he's got the perfect manager to help him learn that temperament.
And the best thing I saw was, and it was a little moment in the game. He was playing as a 6 in the second half, and I think they went to chip the ball over him, and they couldn't. Because he's freaking tall. He's not 5'5". You don't have the Smurfettes out there.
What about people saying like his defensive ability? I saw like his defensive abilities are crap for some people. When I seen him make I can remember 2 challenges off the top of my head. When he run the ball and took a slide challenge. Like the only thing I need him to fix up is those giveaways in the midfield. Like there's sometimes he telegraphed the pass where those leaks. You know, when you lose it in that position, it's just like you're straight on that. But he'll grow into the role, I feel. And I feel like the best, like y'all said, the best manager to work on and develop him in that 6. And because he adds, he's physically imposing as well. And he has those driving runs. So, and I feel like if he could get his scoring touch back, we'd have a player back on that. Like there was a pass where I think CHO picked him out and he hit it like with a side foot, but it was like tame. But if he can get that, he's a confidence player, man.
Yeah, so he put Partey out for 4 to 6 weeks with a slide tackle. Wonderful tackle, legal. But Partey's out 4 to 6 weeks with a high ankle.
And we played them
in the first half. He played the more carrying role, like the Kovacic role of going forward because of I think he had who'd they have on Drinkwater in the first half? Was it Drinkwater in the first half they had on?
Drinkwater came second half.
So who was he on with the first half? Was it
Kovacic, I think.
Was it Kovacic?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. So
I swear RLC had all I see him was touching the ball the most.
He can play both 6s, the holding 6 and the ball progressing 6. He can play both of them. He played both of them in the game. And the reason we got back, we took control of the game in the second half is because he dropped deeper and became that holding midfielder.
It's like
because he brought on Barkley.
Like the Bournemouth game too, when Gallagher was getting roasted in the middle, and then he dropped him back, and it was more calm, more balanced. He could definitely play that.
Yeah, I think that's great, and that might mean that we don't bring a Tchouaméni this summer, although Monaco do have their Tchouaméni replacement signed.
Well, Tuchel in the process. There's only space for one more midfielder in the team. It could be Ruben. It could potentially be a new signing. They said it could be either. But guys, I can't lie. I am going to have to dip. I need to head out because there was an event I was meant to be at that I just completely forgot about until I set up the stream. Fucking idiot. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for another stream. We'll probably be talking about Romelu Lukaku, Erling Haaland, and we'll also be previewing the Chelsea Spurs game. So check it out. Same time tomorrow, people. 2:30 as always. Check it out. Big up the rest of the panel. Big up everyone that's locked in. Take care. Like and subscribe. And let's hope we have someone in the door tomorrow. Up the Chelsea.